god on the champion. Like,
Yeah.
be it a win or be it a loss, you can see his impact, and it's a no-brainer that J Team would still go for this.
Yeah, they will not hesitate taking this Gragas for DY because he's just so good with this champion. He knows it better than anyone else, and that's something that Nova Esports should start to pay respect more. But maybe they can work around with a Garen, and the one alternative can be the Alistar, which can also sustain a lot of damage, probably more as well, especially because of that unbreakable will. And I think that's a necessary adjustment here for Nova Esports at the very least. Have more front lines to serve the back lines even better, since probably this is gonna be a double marksman approach by Nova Esports.
It's always the case, right? If Gragas gets picked by the other side, the immediate counter is either the Alistar or the Rakan. Galio has seen little relevance as of late, right? Like, for some reason, Galio has been forgotten by most of the players. Even Nautilus, right? Except for that game number 1, in where we saw Nova Esports just went just double down on the pick composition, locking the Nautilus. Now we are seeing more and more supports go for the Alistar instead. And so now Nova, as you did say, will go for the double marksman composition here. They do have a good balance of AP and AD. We have to remember Ezreal has AD damage in him. Meanwhile, Corki does have AP. It also leaves the last pick for Long. What would he go for? Because it is still possible that he goes for Aatrox once again.
With a gauntlet as well. It's going to be so hard to close the distance here on Nova Esports. Volibear's one way to have easier access though, at least through the Stormbringer. Maybe they can pierce through, but wow, okay, finally this champion pops up here for Nova Esports. Long will be back on his Wukong.
I don't understand Nova Esports, to be honest with you, because I thought that in game number 3, it was a lot. It made a lot more sense to go for the Wukong instead of the Aatrox, and here in this, in this lineup, I think it kind of makes sense as well to go for Aatrox once again. But Nova Esports is now saying that, hey, you know what? We kind of need some sort of heavy crowd control, and that will only be provided by the Wukong plus the Alistar. So this double crowd control beefy members will go in the faces of J Team's lineup, hoping that their double AD composition or double marksman composition will scale well into the late game. A very even draft now. Now that the Camille has been taken away out of the picture. Yeah, finally, I think that we are now back to normal while they're competitive, and where Camille should not be allowed to play.
And Nova Esports is also saying that they're banking on their double marksman. They're already comfortable and content with the Ezreal and the Corki. And what they're focusing now is the supplementary champions that can provide the soaking of the damage and also the crowd control for protection. That is a lot actually on the side of Nova Esports. The Cyclone, there is the Alistar as well. Zitze can cut off the path of some of the members of J Team and be that menace in the team fight, just being in the middle. And J Team needs to be a lot more careful this time around. Jhin is one of those really vulnerable champions that doesn't really have that much mobility, and since J Team's composition goes in, even the Kai'Sa is gonna go in, Pan has to be extra careful because he's gonna get left out.
This is the same pathing that Nova Esports did during game number 2, in where Long got heavily punished. And you look at the start, J Team goes for the blue buff, would be able to steal this blue buff for themselves. The only difference is J Team this time, or in this game, won't be able to get the first blood, because we have to remember that earlier during game number 2, it was an easy secure of the first blood against Long. So at least in that regard, it's not as bad as game number 2.
Yeah, Remake also just giving Dawn 128 a bit of a hard time here into top lane in that early interaction. Wow, that Aatrox KDA is just massive in that game. Yeah, he got no casualties a while ago. And right now,
early skirmish.
it's gonna be a little scary. They flash in here, but no follow-up, no engage. Yami this time will try to turn off the downward, just denies the entry there of the Jax. But again, this is a long time that Long wasn't able to actually get that much resources. That's why he's still level 2.
Yeah. Yeah, same can be said for 0711, but the biggest takeaway there for J Team was that they were able to protect their very own blue buff, which means that their jungler will be able to enjoy a 3 buff start. In this game, early game heads over to J Team. Albeit small, it still is a good lead. I kind of want to hop back as to what happened in that flash engage by Yami. I believe, whoever his target was inside that bush, and that's the reason why his combo got messed up by a bit. And there was also an immediate flash as a respect by the member of J Team. So it looked funny for a second, but it kind of makes sense after after everything is said and done. But now again, the stalemate continues. Still, J Team with the 3 buff start for 0711 is content with the way the early game started.
Yeah, Nova eSports being able to mitigate the pressure here of J Team. All they need to do is continue to farm. They don't really have that much pressure in accelerating this game as of the moment because their scaling is really good. They have a well-balanced composition. J Team is the one actually that needs to make the plays, try to enable Pan as much as possible, and try to have a slight lead on this Volibear, because later on it's going to be a lot harder for 0711 to actually pierce through the backline. He can easily be kited later on.
Yeah, that's the concern that we do have about the Volibear, right? Like, all you really have to do is to kite away from the Volibear with enough crowd control to be that middle ground and to be that wall against the Volibear. Then yeah, it is possible for you to just kite away from him. J Team will go for round number 2 and will still try to contest this blue buff, but he has to be careful. Neon Yami remake as well. Perfect position to protect Long this time around. So good adaptation from Nova eSports.
No steal this time around. 0711 is still looking for some avenues, this time in the mid lane. Has the ult but will not proceed. It's just too risky as of the moment, especially that this Corki has some backup. There's a Wukong there from Long. And top lane, as the Baron laners finally meet, it's it, taking control for the meantime, which is again another positive sign here for Nova eSports.
I just remembered that the ult of Volibear is called Stormbringer, correct? Yeah, and I know for a fact that Thor's weapon during the endgame was also called the Stormbringer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, are you a huge Marvel fan? Because I remember.
I'm a bit. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a Stormbringer, right? Like, okay. Yeah, it's some random fact that I had to say out loud, at least during the quiet stages of this game. But yeah, I would be wary or be more mindful of Volibear's ult because of its name. And it has a very cool name, Stormbringer. Yeah. Cancels out turrets as well. So it is very possible that Itse might get dove here, although that is a Garen. We all know how tanky a Garen is.
And his favorite song is Very Delight, because he is the storm that is approaching. Hey. Nobody's first starting the dragon though. Just attempting to scale up once again here in this game. An exchange of objectives though.
Yeah. It will be a 1-for-1, 5 minutes. Very quiet, no first blood, nothing really to be had for both teams. For now, Yeats is just flexing his muscles all over. Yet see, ultimate used, ignite used as well. Too ambitious, but that is still a message sent towards Yetzi. There was a true shot barrage, not connecting. But yeah, it was a bit scary for Yetzi.
But so far, a quiet 5-6 minute game so far here by J Team and Nova eSports, and what makes more sense because they do invest more on the scaling side. Just though having a good time getting those plays, getting that kill pressure is something that is threatening JT's rotation as of the moment, because you kinda need to start investing on the Baron lane
Boom.
right now. Cast can be used. Remake is just pushed back. Nothing to be worried about for the meantime. The RH is gonna be used in the mid lane. Tower
that's big.
push.
Not yet.
Almost.
Not yet. It's
Not quite.
enough. Unless if Pan. No,
Just
only
20.
20 HP. Okay, well that's massive for Nova Esports. They were able
It's
to
sad.
deny that takedown here in the mid lane, but what they did not account for is J-Team getting the tempo advantage here in the bot lane. And once again, oh, DY getting caught.
Has to flash away, but the catch
What?
almost was there. Good use of the pulverize, so Yami should survive. And that's 1 kill for Nova Esports.
Right, but that took a lot of investments for Nova Esports for just 1 kill. Not even able to translate it into anything. Now 0711 and company will just put on their resources and pressure to get this tower here in the mid lane. 68 tower going down the drain. Yutze might get dove here by J-Team. Oh man, the early game of J-Team has been so impressive, and this to me does look like another tower plate. They were able to fully clear the plates in the bot lane. Was
Yeah.
able to fully clear the plates here in the mid lane, and even on the top lane was able to get at least 1. So that's, you know, gold being pocketed right now by J-Team.
And right now they know that someone will try to clear the
Wow.
bot lane tower.
Okay.
Neon getting caught, but Valkyrie into a flash. No more chase down possible, and he gets away scot-free.
Yeah, well, DY wanted one thing, and that is to save his tower, and that's the reason why his explosive cask did push over Corki to a safer route for him to use his Valkyrie and Flash. Quite unfortunate if you're DY, right? He had the right idea, but turns out it was a little bit helpful for the Corki, because for sure, if that explosive cask was used to just wait for the Valkyrie to happen or even the Flash to happen, that's a very dead Corki. So yeah, you take with the bad with the good with DY.
Still, J-Team having avenues still here in this game. 3 outer turrets secured in 8.5 minutes. And J-Team just going with what's standard, what's tactical here in this game. Helping them secure a couple of gold lead against Nova Esports, helping the scaling happen on Yetzi and Pand right now. And also Don, because he's not being threatened at all. He's just farming out. And later on, we will start to see the tides turn around in favor of the Jax against the Garen.
Yeah, very academic approach, especially knowing that that will be the Rift Maker Jax, more sustain available for him and more damage overall because of AP scaling in his passive for his ultimate and also in his second skill. But to me, the only concern I do have with this build, Divine Thunder plus Rift Maker, it definitely lacks attack speed. And like,
Yeah.
and the best way to really maximize Jax's damage output is by investing on attack speed items. Anyway, Long will get spotted here by J-Team for sure. So yeah, Yami has to be careful. He can die here. Oh, ultimate being invested. Ice Dragon already alive, and so that's a big ult that is missing on Nova squad.
And that is something that GT can capitalize on. They want to deny the second dragon here from Nova Esports. They are hesitating for a little bit. They want to clear the mid lane first and also the bottom lane. But good job for Nova Esports. Just waiting patiently and buying enough time for the Unbreakable will to actually be back on. Yami though, not on the good side of the map, will get piled on and immediately taken away. Valkyrie gonna be used by Neon. That should be a 1-for-1 trade onto Yetzi. He's down already, but Long is being threatened. He's taking too much damage. That's engaged here by the Jax, and they pierce through the backline of Nova Esports. But a lot of members are very low on Jason's side as well. Pan dealing the damage. Fourth shot, not there. Skill. Remake! What? What in the world? Quadra kill for Pan. Then J-Team wins that fight. They got the dragon as well.
All by himself. Make that a penta? Can he do it? Okay, last bullet. Almost, but not quite, for sure. Oh man, I believe he already has a collector, and that's the reason why his second skill did pierce through and was able to get remake at the end of it all. But again, looking at that replay, Yami did not expect 3-4 members to collapse on him immediately. And at that point, Nova Esports was definitely on the back foot. Still, with their front to back, they were confident to be able to do lots of things against a member of J-Team. But turns out it wasn't enough. With Pan being free to hit all the members of Nova Esports, nothing to be had. Like, this is all on Remake. Remake should know better, right?
Yeah.
Especially at this point that he has a collector. Oh,
Really good body slam into that CC dive by 0711. Nova Esports though still able to disengage, especially through Yami. They should be fine. The J-Team starting to get the confidence back, starting to be aggressive, and starting to be the one being feared here in this game.
For good reasons, right? Like, you have a very fed Jin Pan, man. Again, yeah, like, I know for a fact that Remake walked into the second skill of Jin. So it was actually a thank you moment for Pan. Anyway, yeah, so now he has the collector as his second item. First item was the Essence Reaver. Goes for the third item, Infinity Edge. And by the time that he completes the Infinity Edge, every member, even the Garen, will feel the bullets penetrate through the armor. Especially knowing that this Garen is, you know, a hybrid AT AP. Especially, you know, with the build that he has right now, Hullbreaker. Still on patch 4.28, by the way. I have to remind everybody that this is not yet the nerfed Hullbreaker that we are seeing in our live servers. That's something that is very important to note as well, because, man, the current version of Hullbreaker, it's so sad that what happened to him. It's, you know what, the song, somebody that I used to know, right? Hullbreaker is that, right? It's an item that I used to know. It's no longer the same, definitely.
Oh man, brings me back to the good old days just with the title of that song. But yeah, good old days are about to be over here in this tournament as well, with the Hullbreaker being nerfed. J-Team meaning to make sure that they get their values worth with that item still here, especially that Jax is just becoming a menace. It's so hard to take him down. Same goes for this Kaisa of Yetzi, already done with the 3 items. He is fully unlocked on his full abilities.
Yeah, Void Seekers, resets will happen. Again, the only condition that is needed by a Void Seeker to reset is if ever touches an opposing champion, right? That's it. Oh, long!
They want to turn. They're hungry for Yetzi's blood. DY just cancelling out any sort of engage. This is the target, but should be fine. They are turning onto him. No chase down anymore. Nova Esports get away unscathed. Dondo re-engages. It should be fine here. J-Team not having any kills in that fight.
That true shot barrage was wide right. I think if it connected on towards Pan, Pan might have used his summoners to survive, because you know, at this point at 14 minutes you still have to respect the damage coming from the true shot barrage. The double marksman composition by J-Team and Nova is dueling right now with a clear advantage towards JT's side. I mean, you look at the items of Pan right now, no stasis though, and we have to remember that Jin is one of the most immobile champions in the game. No dashes whatsoever. So without a flash and a ghost, there is an opportunity for Long to find it.
It's always a fun interaction whenever an Alistar pushes someone back, and Yami just basically telling DY to back off as they take vision control here in this boss side river. Nova Esports, they want the third dragon.
For sure. Infernal Dragon boosts your AD and AP. Oh man, okay, Void Seeker starting to reign now. We all know this story, but Ian does have the package. Engage can happen anytime soon.
Yeah, J-Team, they're trying to pressure down. They're trying to poke them out. Curtain Call gonna be used. Yami wants to engage right now, pushes back 0711 as they get the dragon for Nova Esports, but now they turn. Package dealing a lot action here and providing the protection here for Neon. With the back, the front line has been breached. Nova Esports is losing members. They got the dragon, but J-Team gets the kills.
And most likely would translate it into a Baron as well, unless something Will something miraculous happens for Nova Esports? Their jungler is dead, so there's no way to contest this Baron. Yeti is getting chased here by the 3 members of Nova, and immediately, who is there to respond? DY and Don128. What is happening right now? Is a 2-man Baron true shot barrage too early? And a 2-man Baron by the duo of 0711 and Pan is enough to secure the Baron buff. Okay.
All
What
good
again?
here for JT. Yeah.
We look into that replay, and again, this is all about who secures the Infernal Dragon. That is basically what this is all about. And Long still ends up winning this might fight. Neon goes in. And the reality here is Pan is just so ahead right now. Right? Like, he was just waiting for it. He was untouched for the entire duration of the fight. And knowing that he did not have any flash or ghost or any mobility skill, it's basically a dream for a Jhin user, right? Or a Jhin main, because by now he should have access to the flash and the ghost. It will be a lot harder to find his head at this point in time. You know, sooner or later he will have his hands towards the Guardian Angel, and he might be the problem that Nova has to solve immediately and fast.
Big damage onto Remake. He has to go back to the base. Curtain Call gonna be used here just to zone the members of Nova Esports away. And Nova, they can't engage onto J-Team at all right now. Even in that last Dragon fight, the game plan of Nova was just to get the Dragon and immediately back away. That's why Yami just headbutted 0711 just so that Long can pick up the Dragon and then try to walk back. But the damage is just so pure, especially from Yetzi and Pan.
Nova, regardless of what happened, regardless of the Baron being secured by J-Team, did not surrender an inhibitor tower. So that also goes to show that Nova is a very formidable team, but looks like that Yami just wants to engage onto someone or true shot barrage misses.
Yeah, but Yami already pops his ult, and right now it will expire as well. So this is again a big advantage here for J-Team. Dawn is starting to be a problem for Yitze as well. He cannot deal with him at all. Elder Dragon being started already. Nova Esports, they want to contest. Yitze right now gonna be the first target. DY is being kited by Remake right now, and J-Team will give this away for the meantime. Backs away, resets for the Elder. Ooh!
Curtain Call.
Good counter strike. Yitze is taking too much damage.
Yetzi flashed in!
He flashed in, no more mobility. But right now he's trying to stay alive. Stasis in.
Yetzi's
getting caught. Leon gets a kill, but right now Remake as well is very low. Pan is still being able to free it from the backline, but now the backline has been breathed through Long. Mian as well, having the confidence. Stasis in to buy some time. 0711 will flash away. But Nova Esports, numbers advantage at least a little bit right now. J-Team may have to give this Dragon away.
Yetzi, of all the times to commit a mistake, that is definitely not the one you want to do. Okay, he flashed in. No flash immediately responds. It was Nova Esports, but the Elder Dragon is still up for contestation. 0711 still alive. Long as here, a 50-50 is imminent.
Perfect true shot barrage as well. Perfect use of the clone of Long as well to deny that fourth shot on him. But he's very low. DY trying to lead the pack. Yetzi as well. Good damage and justice. Almost gets a kill here on DY, but still able to flash away. There's a Stormbringer. They get the Elder as DY will be alive as well. Dawn is here right now, and Leon will get caught. Pan survives, and J-Team, despite all the odds, despite the numbers disadvantage, will get this win.
Marching down the mid lane, and so are the other members here in the bot lane. J-Team will just open the base of Nova Esports, and looks like that we will have, again, a 2-2 tie, Kyung.
Nova Esports got stolen on their Elder Dragon, and J-Team will equalize the score 2-2. It's gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a long series. J-Team will not back away, will not